Oh, yo, it's me, Just Bree. Production is happy. I used yo. I got in trouble yesterday because I didn't yo to the end of the episode. So have to give you a little bit of the milk flavor in his absence. I am happy to report that we got an update today on his condition. They have successfully removed one of the midgets. Their one is still slipped in there sideways, so we gotta just apply a little more of that diddy oil and see if we can get the rest of them out. Hopefully, you know, the midgets work with us and we get them. Oh, I'm sorry, that's politically incorrect. The small people. Anywho, tonight and every Wednesday night, I for tonight, and we in the future, when the milk returns, will be joined with one of those words, the founder of Pine Case Mental Health and Music, where music is a tool for mental health, aiming to reduce the stigma, promote harm reduction, and bringing awareness to men's mental health. The one and only Kalisha Campbell. Miss KC, if you're nasty, come on and join us. Or join me. I'm by myself tonight. I keep forgetting.
Hey,
it just don't feel natural. I keep talking in plural and I'm singular. What up? Thank you for joining us here tonight on The Last Word. It's such a pleasure to have you.
The pleasure is all mine.
My sister from another country, from the great north. That I mean, I talk about, especially, you know, in these recent administrations, moving to the great north, you know, but I don't know if I quite want to move to where you moved to, because you be having a lot of weather issues. And something happened with one of your horses.
Okay, listen, I don't even, when the old folks used to talk about the weather and gas prices, I was like, I don't ever want to get old. I don't want my life to ever be that painfully boring that I'm talking about the weather. Like, we know what the weather is. Go outside, check it out. It's not a big deal, you know? I get it. Check the forecast. Check what's going on. Talk to your people. You need to know what's happening, because when someone texts in and says, hey, get your flowers from outside, stash them in the garage or whatever, like, the weather is getting bad, the hail is coming. Like, I didn't understand that until we've now gone through freak hailstorms, a tornado touchdown the other day. We've had 5 trees on 2 different occasions land in my yard, take out the power lines, the internet lines, my neighbors' lines. I know, like, Epcor, Fortis, all these people now by first name. Like, I don't know, it's bad. I was like, Milk's gonna fire me. He's gonna be like, listen, you're full of bullshit. This isn't even, there's no way.
Literally, I was supposed to graduate from therapy last week, and I didn't graduate because my scores went back up so high that they were like, we're going to sign you up for 4 more sessions. Like, when I say you're my sister from another country, the way shit happens to you is the way shit happens to me. And Milk can tell you, like, every time it's something with me, he's like, okay, here we go with the Adventures of Bree, because it's always something. And like, it's craziness happens. You know how they say death comes in threes?
Yeah.
What up?
Hey,
Jordan. Life, that's right. Tag them up, get them to join us. We're back. Get all the people in the building. So it's like, you know, they say death comes in threes. Well, for me, craziness comes in threes. Whenever something happens, it's in threes. Like, I had my bank account get hacked. No. I had to travel for work, I had to travel for work, and my kids had things going on at the same time. My son had to travel for his college orientation at the same time that I was traveling for work. And then on top of that, while I was traveling for work, my mom went into the hospital. So it's just like always something. Like, Milk was with me when I moved my daughter out of college. We get the car all packed up after moving her out of the dorm with no elevator, because the elevator was broken. We get her moved out of the dorm with no elevator, pack the car up, and then the car won't start. It's just like, and I was like, when he tells me what happens with you, like what's being, I'm like, oh my gosh, she really is my kindred spirit, like my other half.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I honestly, like, I'm getting better at explaining myself, because I used to have some heavy pressure when it came to being like I can't make this event, or like I'm gonna be late for something. I would avoid it at all cost, and then I would have to feel like I needed to make up like a bigger thing than what was actually happening to justify
Yes.
like was why I was gonna be there, right? And I'm a mad procrastinator, so it's like something I've like, dealt with my whole life. And so yeah, it used to be that I would be like, oh yeah, there's a tornado coming in, blah, 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 whatever, gotta come up with all these stories. And now I'm like, just chill the fuck, everything just needs to chill the fuck out. Like I don't even want to tell people the truth, because it seems so outlandish that I don't even know how to come back from it. But
Yeah. Before you needed to make something up to make it seem, like
always.
more. And now you're like, I should scale it back, because they're not gonna, like, this is me right now, where my son literally just had a staph infection in his blood, and a bone that set into his bone in his hip. And this was at the end of March, beginning of April. We were in the hospital for 10 days. He had to get a PICC line put in. I had to do the intravenous antibiotics at home, like the whole thing. This was in April, or end of March, beginning of April. Yeah. And so I had to take time off from work. I had to get FMLA, which is like a federal medical leave act here in the States, where your job is protected. You can take this time off of work with proper medical documentation, but you don't get paid for it. You just, like, your job is safe. So I had to take all that time off of work for that. Then in May, I had a flare up of one of my medical conditions. So I had to get another FMLA packet for myself to be able to take the time I needed off of work and my job be protected.
Okay.
So because where I work for the state that I live in, the state of Illinois, and
Bless your heart.
Vacation day and one sick day a month. And I have 3 kids. So trying to divide that time up, I run out all the time.
Yeah. So that's neat.
Now,
how many times can you take that though in a year?
The FMLA? Well, it depends on what your doctor puts in for you. Okay. So each medical thing, like the doctor, like for my son, I have it for appointments and his physical therapy until October. What up, Johnny? What's going on? And so for me, I have it for whenever I have flare-ups for however many days I need. Okay. And so then my mom went into the hospital, and she's having this ongoing health condition. So I'm like, I'm going to have to get FMLA for her so I can be able to, she doesn't live in the same town as me. She lives 3 hours away. So if something happens, I can go get to her. And I'm like, if I turn in 3rd FMLA packet in 3 months, like, come on now, girl. Come on now. What doctor are you getting to fill these out for you? Because
you got that hookup. Yeah, you got that doctor in the back pocket. It's actually, I think we have an equivalent to that, which is just like stress leave. It sounds like it's kind of the same thing. Like if you apply for it with your doctor, then they give you, I think you get up to like 6 weeks actually. And then they can't let you go, nothing like that. Like they have to hold your position. And I actually think if you work for the province up here, you get paid. So you guys need to step your thing up. They're not taking care of you all down there very well.
They're not. Can I come?
Like
again, I would be thinking about as soon as I got 4 years till my youngest is out of high school, and after that, I'm looking at Canada. I'm looking at Mexico. North America is not just the United States.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And there are other very nice places in which to reside, but we'll see what happens.
Where we all should be talking, like, so Jamaica, there's a property sitting there that I've been trying to sort out. I had this conversation with Milk like a year ago. Like, what would a mental health retreat look like in this space? Like, how do we utilize this square footage to like best serve the people? Do we put in like a music studio so people can come make music for people hanging out? And ultimately, I was just like, I just need to move there. Like, I don't even know why I'm trying to build a retreat for other people. Like, I also need to look out for my own mental health. Yes. And maybe that's like the space where we all need to like, because it's still in Central America, right? Like it's not even that far away. And the
Caribbean. Right. I have never been to Jamaica. I wanted to go for my 40th birthday, but my plans fell through, and my best friend ended up taking me to the Cayman Islands instead. Okay. But I've never been to Jamaica, but it's on like my bucket list of places to go.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And they don't really acknowledge mental health at all. Sorry, and I go back to mental health so much. It's like all I know right now.
Oh, that's your thing.
Yeah.
No, and that's perfectly fine.
And I'm like, I'm doing the school thing too right now, so I'm just like, psychology, all this stuff. I'm
you
like,
know, Milk, of course, works in social work, but I, as you heard me say, I just didn't graduate from therapy. I'm a big advocate for mental health and mental health awareness. So, like, whatever you sidetrack, go for it. Like, I don't mind at all.
I think it's so important because, you know, we talk about all these pressures. Like, first of all, I want to acknowledge that the fairy tale 3 situation, like someone told me a long time ago that was like the fairy tale number, and that, you know, that's why Disney uses it. It's in all the old fairy tales. Like everything happens in 3s, right? The fairies and the witches and all of this stuff. And when things started happening to me in groups of 3s, I was like, life's gonna be wonderful, right? Like, I'm a princess. This is amazing. No, not true. Not true. Because chaos definitely comes in the same set of 3. So I'm glad I'm not the only person rocking that in my world, because I already know that if 2 bullshit things have happened in a day, then the 3rd thing is coming. Same within a month, same within a year, it's coming. Like, I already know, buckle up, sit down, get ready, like pour your tea, your coffee, whatever you need, because it's about to happen. But I think like it's important to focus on the mental health aspect, because we trudge through all of this stuff. I mean, these things that you're getting for work, it's amazing that you're able to support your family in that way. It's amazing that you're able to take that time for yourself, but then also coming home, trying to settle in, go in there, settling in for whatever that looks like for your son, for your mom, for everybody. And I hope everyone's okay. But it's like, how do you get back into a daily routine? A lot of the times we max that shit out right to the last day, and then we're like, hey, we're getting home tonight, we got to go back to work tomorrow. Like, there's all of these like moving pieces that still have to happen. But it's like hard.
How about I left for my last day of work was the 20th, and then you know, the next week I was traveling, so I had to change my password. And when I got back, I was like, I can't get into the system because what did I change my password to? Like, why would I know the system didn't know, but if they had, why would you have me change my password when I'm about to be out for 10 days? The way I had to search the recesses of my brain to find that password was absolutely nuts. But it is like so much is tied to mental health that I feel like, you know, I again am a personal advocate for mental health. My mom makes fun of me because I'm always like, someone's, you know, I'll be telling a story about somebody and I'll be like, they really need therapy. But this is what she's like, you think everybody needs therapy? I'm like, because they do.
They do. We all do.
Because they do.
They all do.
Maybe not all the time, but everybody hits that rough spot where they need something else. And if you don't believe me, check the alcohol.
Check your bottles. How many you got stashed away? Like, I started taking advantage of therapy as in like, that's my downtime now. Like the time to and from when I'm going to go talk, or sometimes we just do it over the phone or whatever. I have like a standing appointment. I got a really amazing therapist in my life, and it's super casual at this point. We've kind of worked through a lot of like the thick stuff, but I look forward to it. I'm like, sweet, I have a chunk of time that's an hour long that I get to just like say some crazy shit and walk away with it. No strings attached. I don't have to answer people's questions. I don't have to have like a 2-way conversation about it. I can just leave it there and walk away. And I think people underestimate the value of like actually being able to do that without having to deal with the repercussions of what you're saying. Like when you say it to, because you're like, oh, I got a bestie. No, listen. Get you a therapist. Like, what you need is a therapist, so that way that you're right. Like, and then your friendship can stand the test of time because you.
And I also dislike, because I'm not gonna say I'm like I go to church every Sunday, or I'm not even gonna front like I do, because I don't. But I am a strong believer in God. You know what I mean? I feel a strong Christian, and I am a what would Jesus do Christian. I'm not one of those who says they're a Christian, but, you know, it's like deport all these blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm a what would Jesus do Christian is what I call myself. So, but I dislike when people are like, oh no, I talk to God, I take it to Jesus. Like, that's great. That is great. Pray on everything you need to pray on, like all that. But sometimes you need somebody that can talk back to you.
Yeah.
And in real life, like you might think you hear the Lord, but that might not be, you know what I mean? Like you don't know that that's not the devil talking to you. Like, no, you need a real voice sometimes to be like, now that wasn't right. Like, why you do that? Like, sometimes you just need a real voice to sound back at you.
Well, and also, like, I've stressed myself out right into like seeing shit. You know what I mean? Like, it might just be oars on a tree. It doesn't need to be anything heavy. I know some people really go there, and like that's, maybe a different conversation. But it's like, do you trust who is coming back to you? I'm not a religious person, actually, and I find it really fascinating that people like lean on that. I think that there's something predominantly like it's in the foundation of society, and I think it's super important because we need something to be there. And so I respect it. I've been to tons of different churches, tons of different conversations, congregations, all of those things, and it's not that I'm not a spiritual person. I just haven't figured out yet like who it is that's talking back to me, because I'm pretty convinced that it could just be psychosis. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I got to be careful. Like,
right.
I need that therapist every second Wednesday to be like, okay, yep, nope, yep.
See, and this is where I feel like I might be a little messed up, because I hear people talking about their therapy, and they're like, yeah, I have 2 sessions a month, once a month, or I call in when I have troubles. Like, I'm weekly, okay? And I was just taken off of a program where I was twice a week because I had a coach.
Yes.
And I had a counselor. So it was like a 2, it was like work together. But my coach says I have graduated. She says, you have all the tools. You just need sometimes to be able to talk to someone to get yourself together. But you have all the tools and you implement them without even knowing you're implementing them. Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that is the problem sometimes with people with high intelligence, is they know what they're supposed to do.
Right.
But it's just hard to do it. Like, what up? Hello,
hey,
hello.
Calico. Yeah, man. She's sitting on the West Coast. You want to talk about therapy?
It's like, you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yard. Yeah. No, we
West
know what
Coast.
Listen, this lady, she ain't a girl. She's a whole woman over there sitting on the West Coast handling my whole business, actually, all the time, every day, all day. But she is like on her backyard backs onto the Pacific Ocean. Like, there is nothing between her and the, like, oh my God. Every time we're like chatting, I'm like, just turn around a little bit. Like, give me a little
just can you angle your camera?
yeah. To see what's behind you.
Now that's awesome.
Yeah. No, she knows what's good. It's amazing, but also like taking advantage of the things that we have around us, right? Because I don't know, like every 2 weeks sounds great. 2 times a week sounds great. We also have all these beautiful things that are sitting near us that when they're that close, we just kind of, they get overlooked, right? I have all these horses, and today I was like sweating. Well, you can still see I'm still like licked up and shiny a little bit, like, but these are like big therapeutic animals. So like, yeah, we gotta practice taking advantage of our surroundings and our people a little bit more, I think. The counselors are good, but people are good too. You got a whole crew in your life though, and like before we
go ahead.
No. I was like, you got a whole crew in your life, and then I'm like, we never went back to your son. I grew up in a community where the suicide rate was extremely high, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. It was like young dudes, which is why I do men's mental health, why we specifically try to like rock with the dudes, right? Because no one was really doing it back then. Like, it was all for like women and children, which is great, but like the dudes are kind of getting left behind. And all these guys were like committed suicide. They were trying to say it was the weather. It rains a lot there, all these like things that were happening. And then one of my friends passed away, and their sister was married to a doctor, like way, way up there in the medical field. And they donated part of him to figure out what was going on. And they actually drew a line like straight from his thoughts, his suicidal thoughts and actions, right down to this specific strain of staph infection. And so now when I hear things like that, I'm like, okay, wait, like, is he cool? Did you guys get through it? Is he like, we've moved on from it? Because
he is doing really well. Like I said, we were in the hospital for 10 days, and he had to get a PICC line inserted. And then I did the rest of the drugs immediately at home because we were ready to get out of there. I was so sick of the hospital. Like,
yeah, fair.
I went through a lot of hospital and nursing home things the year before with my dad before he passed. And so I was just like, I am ready to get out of here. So they were like, we can teach you to do it at home, or we can send him to another hospital. And I was like, teach me. And so we did that. And then after he got off that, he was on 2 weeks of like heavy antibiotics on oral. And so we got through that. The infection, they've done multiple blood tests. He has one more appointment with his infectious disease doctor in like 5 months from now. And he has one more appointment with his bone doctor because it, like I said, it caused osteomyelitis, which is just like an infection in the bone in his right hip bone. And so, which is actually how we found out that he had this, because we joked that LeBron James saved his life.
Okay.
Because my son loves LeBron James, loves him. And both of my sons, I had bought both of them tickets to the Bulls-Lakers game so they could see LeBron play in person for their birthday.
Damn.
And he couldn't go. He was like, my leg hurts too bad, I can't walk. Like, he couldn't go. So he told his brother to give his ticket away to his brother's friend.
So you knew
once I knew he was in so much pain he couldn't see LeBron, I was like, it's time to go to the hospital. Like, something is wrong.
Something's up with my baby. Yeah.
And so it took them 2 days of testing to find it. But once they did, like I said, we were there 7 days after that. But he has one more appointment with the infectious disease doctor and one more with the bone doctor that were 6 months out. And both of those, once we get it all clear, we were all clear at the last appointment, which was just last week. But once we get the all clear, then he's officially recovered.
Yes.
So the bone doctor did tell me, and the infectious disease doctor, but the bone doctor specifically told me that he is treating someone who was reinfected in the same area 16 or 18 months after they were considered healed before. So to keep an eye out, but so I'm definitely praying for no reoccurrences, because I think the hardest part for him, I mean, he's like a cat. He's got 9 lives. Like, the boy be dodging death, like just dodging death.
The boys do that. That's what they be like.
He swallowed a penny at one, and it got lodged right here. So he had to have surgery to get that pulled out. That was, he was younger than 1. That was the first one. Then he almost drowned twice. So that's 2 more. Then he almost got hit by a car. Then he had an asthma attack, almost died. Then he was a passenger in a car that ran into standing water, and they had to be like rescued by firemen out of the car windows because the car was flooded. Like, he almost drowned in a car. So that's 6. And then the staph infection in his blood, that's 7. So I'm like,
chill out,
bro. You only 14. You running out of like, you running out of lives here. You only 14. So, but the hardest part for him was not being able to play basketball for a while. Like, when he got out of the hospital, he was using a walker and stuff. Like, he refused to go back to school because he's like, I'm not. But I did not know that staph like that was related to suicide. That is definitely something to keep my eye on. Thank you for letting me know, because man, even more than the infection and like so many things that it can affect. That's crazy.
I don't know if it's that exact strain, but it shocked me to hear that like something that started off so harmless that was like overlooked for, because we all do it, right? Like, no one really takes their health serious, especially like, staph is such like I don't know. I remember specifically a stripper actually with this lime green tattoo I thought was on her butt, this tiny little lime green tattoo of a Band-Aid on her butt cheek. She was out there working. And I was like, dude, what is that tattoo of? Like, is that an actual Band-Aid tattoo? And she's like, no, it's a real Band-Aid. It's covering my staph infection. And I was like, a staph infection? This is my first of all, I got the fuck out of the strip club. But, but like, also like, my idea of what staph infection was like, if you could cover it with this tiny little bullshit Band-Aid, like, it's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be okay. Then my second experience with staph infection was hearing that might be the reason that my friends are taking their lives. I was just like, wait a second, what in the fuck is this? It's not even, I don't want to say it's not big of a deal because, you know, your son obviously, like, it was a really bad experience for him. But for a lot of people, some of these situations aren't even a big deal. They're like, you catch them soon enough, you like.
The doctor told me that you have the staph bacteria like in your nose, around your nose and eyes, like all the time. He had no sores, no open wounds or anything. They have no idea how it got into his blood. No idea. They said we'll probably never know. So there's just one of those like freak things that happen that you just have to LeBron James for.
Thank LeBron James.
Thank LeBron James. It pains me as a Chicago citizen to thank LeBron James for anything instead of Michael Jordan. Like, why couldn't Michael Jordan have saved your life? But whatever. We'll just give it to LeBron.
Yeah, that's wild though. Like, well, and also like the things that we overlook all the time. I mean, you're just saying all that wild stuff. You're coming home trying to do all this stuff. Like, you know how many things I've shoved under my bed in the last week, or shoved underneath, like, I got piles that I got to now deal with because they're like everywhere. And I feel like mental health and health is kind of the same thing. Like, you know, I've just been like shoving these things away. It's like, that'll be fine. That little cut, that'll be fine. This little thing, that'll be fine. Like, yada. Next thing you know, you got flipping, I don't even know, blood poisoning. Yes. Which I've lost a friend from that too. Like, it's like, seriously, I've lost, like, I actually have like a friend that I have literally like who passed away at like 22 from like blood poisoning from like a situation that was so avoidable. And I'm like, yo, like, what in the actual hell is happening now? Like, take care of yourselves. You guys are listening. Take care of yourselves. Prioritize yourselves. Gotta prioritize ourselves, man.
Yes. And the doctor for my son was like, oh, thank God for the increase or the advancement in technology. Like, I am one I hate AI. I'm just joking. AI, I love you. Like, we're buddies.
We love you.
But like, when they take over, I want to be on their side. You know what I mean? I'm a little frightened. So, but she was like, you know, oh, thank goodness for the advancements in this MRI technology. Because even 20 years ago, we may not have seen this like dark spot and not known where to look. And that bacteria might have, before we could have saved, like before we found it. Yeah. And it's just like, well, that's scary. And sometimes you have to be very thankful for the technology advancements and advancements in the medical field. My mom was talking about how back in the day they had a medical practitioner, one doctor. They had no specialists.
For the whole community.
Yeah, the doctor took care of everything. And it was like, that's because they didn't have a lot of tools. They just gave you this medicine and they were like, all right, go home.
You got you got like heroin, some booze, some brandy, right? Or like, oh man, the options were, well, and everyone, the life expectancy was like 45 for everybody. Right. So I mean, there's that, right?
I mean, I have a friend, I'm not gonna say no names, but he is part of the production team who, like, when I tell you he'll cut a person's lifespan short, including his own. He'd be like, I only got another 10 years. I'd be like, damn, we only 40. Like, what is you talking about? He will cut somebody's life expectancy off. I'm like, you know, we supposed to live to 85 these days. Like,
yeah, but you know what I mean? But you know, do we even? I don't even want to take it like to a dark place, but like, do we even want to anymore? Like, I really want to take in all of life's splendor. I want to take in all of the sunsets and all of the, you know, all of the beats and all of the laughter and love and food that I can. There's not, without a shadow of a doubt. But when I see how like North America is now kind of sorted out the seniors citizen situation, I'm like, I don't know, kind of feel like a hard pass.
What kind of senior I am. I have an uncle who is 75 who still drives from Florida, which is at the bottom of the country, to Illinois, which is at the top of the country. Like, he still drives cross country and he's 75. I have an uncle who is in his early 80s, and he's still, you know, offering to mow the lawn and things like that. Like, he's still, so it depends on what kind of 85-year-old I am. But I do have 3 kids, so they better do, you know, y'all better at least pay for some good care if I can't, because
Yeah, like, and make them like good looking and fun. Like, I don't want to be locked up. I did 3 days, and I say it like I went to jail because that's literally like I did 3 days of a co-op in like I think it was like grade 11 or grade 12 to like graduate to get like some credits or whatever. They're like, it'll be easy breezy. You're just gonna go down to the seniors' home. Da, da, da. Sure, no problem. 3 days, and at this point, I was in the streets. Like shit was going on. I'd like lived on my own since I was like 14. Like I do anything, you know what I mean? Like it was all good. You couldn't pass nothing past me. I was living it. I paid my own fucking bills. Like I was in this shit. Like no problem. I spent the first day in there like rocking back and forth downstairs in like a closet. I was like, nope. No. The second day when I finally like got the courage up to get back into the car to go there, I like and it wasn't like this place was amazing. I'm just not cut from that cloth. Like I am not that type of person. The people that work in that industry are angels amongst us regular folk because that is like next level stuff. But I was just like, no, this ain't it. This is not it for me. I don't this situation. 27 Club was looking good. I was like, sure, sounds good. We'll just go in, get her done, get the fuck out of here. Like, oh man.
Yeah. When my dad was in the nursing home last year, like my daughter would go with me to visit, and she would be like, this is not how people should spend their end of life. Like,
no.
They work their whole lives. They, and then to have to like end it in a place like this is sad. So, wow, that took a really depressing turn. No, okay, let's lighten things back up a little bit. It is sad though. It's like really sad. But
it is part of life, and it's something like I want to have a plan in place, much like the weather and the gas that we were talking about before. Like I didn't want to have to deal with those conversations. A will was kind of one of those things too. It was just like I don't ever want to have to deal with that. Now I'm like, get that in writing. Like, did you said you were going to check on me like once a week? Okay, right, get that down right now. Like I need to. Like I'm not even playing around anymore. Everybody's gotta have a position and we can all just live in the same space. That's fine. Like, you know what I mean? You guys can all take a room, raise your babies. I don't care. I'll live in like the room downstairs around the corner with the bathroom attached to it. That's fine. I just don't leave me out there like that.
Like just put me in the home somewhere.
Yeah,
like, in the house. I'll take the basement.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll take the shack in the back. Like, I don't know. My grandma's been telling me like for probably at least the last 25 years of my life that I need to build a mother-in-law suite. Like before I had a house, before, back when I was like young and in a condo and stuff like that. Where's my mother-in-law suite? You started on my mother-in-law suite? And I'm just like, so that's like ingrained in my mind. I'm like, okay, like I got to do this, and this, and I got to get my mother-in-law suite. Like,
for sure. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So last night, while Joe was joining me, we started, and we didn't get to it till the end of the show. So I want to try to get to it a little earlier tonight. Yeah. Although it's been really great talking to you and just going off on these segues about, again, I know we're supposed to be sticking to, the topics of tonight.
Oh, yeah. Back to the topics.
I just really feel like the discussions about mental health are so important that I just don't want to cut them short. But okay, so last night we started Am I the Asshole type things last night with Joe. Yes. And tonight I have some that kind of focus around mental health a little bit. Like, okay. So I'm not going to say these were picked specifically for you, but it's interesting to to get, your perspective on it. So we're going to dive into the first one because it deals, I feel like, with mental health. So the title is, Am I the Asshole for Making My Sister Leave Her Boyfriend because he tried to isolate her from me and our family? So my 19 male sister, 16 female, has been dating this guy for a little over a year. Now, 16. She's 16.
Yeah,
she's like that's important. I feel like that's an important part to keep in mind.
Yeah.
At first, he seemed a little controlling, but nothing extreme. Over time, I started noticing changes in her behavior. She stopped coming to family gatherings, barely replied to texts, and avoided any kind of interaction with me and our parents. Eventually, she opened up to me during a phone call and told me that her boyfriend didn't like how close she was to her family. According to him, we were too involved in her life, and she needed to set boundaries, which basically meant cutting all of us off completely. He even told her she needed to block me, our parents, and some of her childhood friends to start fresh.
First of all,
I told her,
you are not blocking anybody. You are 6 fucking teen, and I still pay your goddamn cell phone bill. So sit down and eat your fucking dinner. Like, what are you?
What? I told her no decent partner would try to isolate her from the people who love her. But she got really upset. She told me to stop interfering and that I didn't understand and that she loved him deeply. She begged me to stay out of it, but I couldn't. I pushed and I reminded her of everything she's been through and how much we loved her, how dangerous emotional isolation can be. And I basically refused to back off.
Yeah.
Eventually, she broke up with him. It was messy and painful, and she cried a lot. Now we're talking again, but some of her friends still say I shouldn't have forced my opinion on her when she told me to stay out of it. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In context, yeah, if that was like 23, maybe even still 33. If you were 33 and your family was like super obnoxious, all up in your business, stopping by without calling, walking into your house when you're, out getting groceries, waiting for like weird shit like that, because some families are pretty intense, right? Then conversation could maybe be, we could pull it apart a little bit. But 16, sweetheart, no, you got class in the morning.
16.
Like, no.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like, and there are those times when your friends or family members or someone, they start dating and you're not as close as you once were. And you're in the beginning stages of romance and it's all about that other person.
Love. Yeah.
That part I get, right?
Yes.
But you telling them to block your family because they're too involved. Bitch, I'm 16. They supposed to be involved. Like, I'm sorry, your parents don't love you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What you mean too involved? I'm 16.
Yeah.
Like, they pay all my bills. What are you talking about? So I just think that part is a little crazy. Just a little crazy.
It's a lot crazy. Like and maybe he needs to sit down and come and eat with Nan. He needs to come and sit down and get an understanding, because maybe he didn't grow up like that. But anybody that's pushing a 16-year-old into isolation, like, he needs to have a conversation with the dad, the grandparents. Like, somebody needs to smack the shit out of this kid and make him understand.
And it makes me wonder how old he is, because it doesn't mention his age, but what type of household he comes from. Because to him to have that controlling nature, he's seen that modeled somewhere. For him to be a teenager, we're assuming, because she's 16, we're assuming he's somewhere around that same age. At that young of an age that he's that controlling, he's seen that pattern of abuse. Yeah. And that's the part that is like emotional isolation is very damaging to the mental, like, psyche, but it's also have to wonder what type of environment he was raised in to make him think that cutting her off from her family is okay. Like,
but that's why he needs to come in and sit down, get a bite to eat, because we're taking him in too. Like, that's fine. You tried to flex on it, wasn't gonna work because we're all still here. Like, that was fine. But come and sit down and fill your tummy, because when you're hungry, you do stupid shit like that. Or when you're, you know what I mean? That's all you know. Right, exactly. You do stupid shit like that. But if you don't, if that's the only thing that you have to refer to in life, then you need to come and sit down, get a meal, come and hang out. Like, I didn't say you couldn't date my daughter. We just have to work together, because maybe he actually needs somewhere to be, right? Like, maybe that's the topic.
Yeah, like, maybe he needs to experience some love, and maybe he needs to experience some love.
Yeah,
like, and that's why I'd be like, why don't you come? Like, they're not too involved. Why don't you come see what it's like over here?
Yeah, hang out. Yeah.
It honestly, I mean, and this isn't, probably a popular take, but it honestly makes me, I do agree, she definitely should have broken up with him. But it honestly makes me sad for him and sad for whoever he dates in the future that may not have an older brother that's looking out for her like that.
Yeah. Look at
what up?
That group photo. Those are the people that you need, though, right? All those people would pull that young dude in for a meal. All of them. See that? Because they know how to love each other, right? It's people like that. It's like, we need to be kind to our neighbors. I talked about it on the show last night, actually. Like, I was hanging out with Billy Long, and he's an amazing human being, but we were talking about, like, the importance of our neighbors and, like, where that culture has gone, right? Like, if my kids acting a fool in the neighborhood, I fully give permission for somebody's nan to come out and sort my child out. Like, I don't need to be everywhere at once. I trust that my kid's going to make good decisions. But if he is stepping out of line from across the street, tell that little boy what's good. Like in the same way that if you got all the cool toys and I'm running late from work, like my kid's coming to hang out for a hot second, or like, we're already barbecuing and you know what I mean? Like your kid's already in my yard, they're getting fed. Like that's just like that. Bring back that shit, because it alleviates little peckerheads like that, right? Like it alleviates that mentality. Like we as a community are responsible for everybody's children. And don't get all crazy, don't take that statement and run with it anywhere that it doesn't need to be, but we would raise better men if we would all take part into it, which is the backbone of our society.
I seen an article yesterday, and somebody was saying, like, would you be upset if someone parented your kids in front of you?
No.
And she was saying that her daughter accidentally sprayed someone in the face at the pool with a water toy. And the person like said something to the child. And we're at a pool. I get accidents happen. But if you're upset because they're parenting the child in front of you, well, if you don't take the opportunity to parent your own child, then yes, I'm going to do it, because don't spray me in the face. Like, I get it's an accident and we're at the pool and we're having fun, but you see me sitting here, so point it that way. If you don't come and parent your child, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not going to yell at your child. I'm not going to hit your child, but I'm definitely going to redirect them or tell them what they should be doing differently to avoid that happening again. And if you're upset that I'm doing so, then do it before I have to.
Exactly. Yeah. Be proactive enough that we're not all in here trying to sort your life out. I seen this video actually, and it was this beautiful, somebody's Nana, and they were in like a Costco or something, and the kid kept trying to run past her, and she just stepped into the aisle and she didn't even say nothing. She's like that type of stoic, right? Didn't even say nothing, just regal with her beautifulness. She just went like this. Turn around, right? Like, and I was like, I know exactly what she's doing. We all instinctively know that direction that is being given. Like, good on her for, because right behind the camera was probably a mom who was at the end of her day. She was done with this shit. She was ready to like say, fuck the groceries, we're leaving. You know what I mean? And it just took like somebody else's grandma to be like, turn your little ass around, go that way with your mom, So I don't know. I think we need more of it. I firmly stand behind that. I do it. I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't know. If you're in my vicinity and you're acting a fool, I'm probably going to say something. Not always, but like if you're stepping in my space and it's affecting the people that are near me and your parents aren't saying nothing, like we'll have this conversation. I don't mind the discomfort for the greater good, man. For the greater good.
My kids were never ones to really act up. None of them. The three of them are all pretty good kids. But we used to have a motto amongst the four of us, like we hand out life lessons. Like, if you're not acting correctly, like we hand out life lessons. Me, my children, like my children that correct another child. Like, what are you doing? Like, my youngest son seen a little girl in his class like yelling at her dad. And he looked at me like, we allowed to do that? I said, don't you ever try it. And he didn't even like say anything. He just looked at me like, is this possible? Like, what is she doing? And then he said, stop yelling at your dad. like what I tell you, my kids are like, we hand out life lessons. Like my in kindergarten talking about stop yelling at your dad.
So here's where my boundaries end and probably begin with children, my children, other people's children in general. If you are barking at another kid, stop. Enough. Don't do that. Shut up. I hate shut up. All this, hurry up, those things. Like the other kids do not have a responsibility to then follow that order. And like, let me explain. So you have a group of kids. One is kind of fed up or whatever, and they're like, mom said go get your shoes on, you're not getting your shoes on. So instead of just being like minding your own business because you're one of the kids as well, they're like, go get your shoes on, or mom said nope, time out, sorry. No one is listening to a kid give direction. First of all, I'm in this space and I'm quite capable of that myself. Thank you. And also, like, maybe the reason why I didn't say anything is like a safety issue. Maybe I don't want them rushing down the stairs. Maybe I'm not that concerned about getting out the door in this next 5 minutes. Maybe I said, go get your shoes on because that's the direction that we're headed. But by no means do you need to then police your siblings, because your only job is to enjoy your childhood, and that's it. And so that's like a hard lesson that I find really, I don't even like being around it. Like when other people's kids are like, it's just like, fuck, the only thing you got to do is enjoy your siblings, man. That's your only responsibility. Why are you out here like tripping out about
parenting?
Yeah.
What up, Cullen? What up? What up?
Hey. Yeah. So anyways, that's the one thing that I like. I'm like, man, but again, it goes back to like, are you parenting because that kid doesn't trust the parent to do it themselves? Obviously, there's a culture in their household where the kids need to be that person, you know what I mean, for the group of shitlins or whatever. Like, so I get it. It's hard not to like be upset at the parents, but yeah, I can't. That's like, if I had a pet peeve, that's probably be one of them. Kids are out here yelling at each other. It's like, chill out.
I will say that my daughter does do that. Like, she is the only girl, so she when I'm gone, she definitely puts on her mom hat and is like, do this, do that. The boys listen to her. So, you know, when I came back from out of town, my house was clean, the dishes were done, and she's off doing her internship, so she's not at home, but she made sure to tell them she's going to be home at this time, make sure the house is clean, and they had it done. So like, so, you know, hats off to my mini mom.
Okay, but it sounds like, but she's not doing that because she doesn't trust you as a parent to deliver the goods, right? She's
no. Yeah,
she's,
no. She's like,
she's got your back.
Situation. The last thing she needs to walk into is a messy house. Like, make sure the dogs is like, you know, she's just doing that to help alleviate more of my stress. So, so for that one, we concluded though. For the first one, we concluded that the brother is not the asshole. He is not the asshole. He is a perfectly good, concerned brother, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I have another one for you, which is kind of, I have my own personal opinion of why, so I'm interested to see what yours is.
Okay.
Am I the asshole? My boyfriend doesn't drink around me, but will with his friends. Now, I don't understand why this is a am I the asshole question, but I assume she just wants opinions as well. Okay. But because I don't think there's any like asshole in this question.
Okay.
Me and my boyfriend have been together 3 years now, and I've only ever seen him drunk maybe twice. Anytime I ask if he wants to have a few beers and play cards or go to the bar, he always says no. But I've noticed that when he's around his friends, he's always willing to drink and initiates it. He's on vacation with his friends. I was invited, but couldn't take off of work. And he's sending me Snapchat videos of him taking shots and drinking buzz balls.
Okay.
I'm glad he's having a good time, but it puts a pit in my stomach because I feel like it has something to do with me. I'm probably overthinking this, but just want some opinions. What are your thoughts?
So I got lots of them actually. So I find that's a challenging situation because I get really stuck into a daily routine, right? Like I know what my life is supposed to look like. I know, and I'm like pretty casual. I'm not really that worried about it, but after dinner, you know what I mean? Whether people are having beers or not or whatever, by like about 7:30, I'm usually like boiling a pot of water, making a tea, kind of winding down or whatever. And then I rely on that. And so that's my time to like have that space. Now, if I got things to do outside the house and I've been planning on that, or it's a spur of the moment thing and we're all going to go get dressed up and go do something, then like, let's do it. Let's live our freaking night. I don't know what that has to look like, but you know what I mean? I'm going to step it up a little bit because now I'm around, you know, other people. That's the energy. That's what's happening. And so my partner isn't going to get the same person as my friend's going to get. Like it, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of tough because is it fair for them to never like want to have drinks with their partner and then they go and party with their friends? Like, yeah, kind of shitty. You could probably drop a tailgate and hang out once in a while. But at the same time, like, I don't know, if you're living life and that doesn't necessarily involve booze all the time, and the time that you do drink is when you're like celebratory and hanging out with your friends and it's outside the house and that's what's happening, then that's what it is. So
that feels weird, but I'll
I think it's like when she says, am I overthinking this? my answer is yes. I think it's something much more simple. I think that he has probably gotten wasted to a point in his younger years or with his friends where he does embarrassing things that he probably doesn't want her to see him behave that way. And so he just controls himself around her. Like, I can be a jerk, a drunk with my friends when, but with you, I want to be a more controlled person and not act like a shitty drunk douche.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. I think she's overthinking it. Who's to say he wouldn't have drunk still if she had been able to take off of work and went on the vacation? She'll never know because she wasn't there. But I just think that maybe he has a relationship with alcohol to where he is afraid he might do something that he doesn't want to do in front of her under the influence. And I can respect that. Like, he's trying to keep himself looking like a true gentleman. And maybe the drunk version of him is not that. So he's just trying to protect her from it.
Or he's like, that and like stacking, like I get into like stack mentality, like stack money. Like we are fucking like, it's funny because we say this two different ways. So whether you want to be face down, ass up, or ass down, head up, it doesn't really matter however you make money. But in my life, we both believe that those are two different things. But it's like, if you're my partner and you're my teammate and like that's what we're doing, like that's very much my focus, right? Like we're building a future together. Everything that we're doing is going into our life, our kids, our house, our yard, our whatever, like our grandparents, like that's where that time is being spent. I don't spend a ton of time being like hungover and this and that. Like there's a time for celebration. And so if she's not necessarily a part of that time of celebration, like that's whatever, maybe she should have just went on the trip, or she needs to like allow that time in the calendar to be like, this is what we're doing on those days. You see that? It's coming up. This is what we're doing. We're going out. Cause like, I don't know. I don't really want to wake up to like empty beer bottles and shit like that. I don't want my kids to ever wake. My kids have gone their whole lives never waking up to that shit. Like I'm not, and that's not to say we haven't we barbecue. Dan, I see you. We barbecue. We get down. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like on a Tuesday for no fucking reason, like chill out a little bit, maybe.
Exactly. That's what's like, I just think that she is indeed overthinking it. I think she should just, he'll eventually have a drink around you, and then he might turn into a person you don't want to see.
Yeah.
What up? What up?
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and people are wild, right? Like, I don't know. I've had
That's
friends.
Right. Make that money. Don't let it make you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That used to be one of my favorite Players Club is where that line comes from. Used to be one of my favorite movies when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably sad. I shouldn't admit that on the internet, but I could not the stripping part in the movie, but I could act it out for you probably line by line.
My favorite movie as a kid was, which I probably shouldn't admit either, but
not as a kid. I will say as a teenager at least.
Okay. Yeah.
As a teenager.
Yeah. Yes.
Give my mom some credit.
Okay. She was feeding you guys and stuff. You're all right. You guys had a good, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
you had a good
teenager.
Home. Yeah. No, mine was Requiem for a Dream. And looking back, like I would never play that movie for my kids now. Like there is no way I would ever play that movie for my kids. Never. I mean, it ends with like some really raunchy shit, I guess, depending on who you are. But the whole movie is just about like being intoxicated. And I was like obsessed. It was like, oh my God, I need to know every little thing. It was like so well written, so interesting.
It's crazy how things that movies and things we grew up on, you like play them for your kids or intend to play it for your kids, and a scene comes on that you kind of forgotten about, and you were like, my parents let me watch this. Like you're like, no, stop.
The 90s as a whole, like everything that the music, even like I played music and like just like joking around, I'm like, oh, listen to this song, whatever, and like add it to Spotify while we're listening to it, like my 11-year-old, and he's like, Mom, this is so bad. Like this is worse than like Subway sex offender bad. I'm like, no, it's not. Wait a second, maybe it is. Like it's bad.
Middle school is not. I'll be barbecuing, but no drinking, as I'm a recovering alcoholic. Had my last drink 1/22/2021 and started my sobriety 1/23/2021. Congratulations.
Yes. One day at a time. Yeah.
No small feats.
No, that's massive. dates are amazing. I see them come up in the comments all the time, and it's like I'm super super stoked on everybody. Congratulations on your amazing date. And yeah, no, you don't need booze for a barbecue. I say that as a general term because I talk for like a group of people. I'm not the only one at Pancakes, but yeah, no, like some there's a few of us that drink, not everybody. Like some of us that count dates, not everybody. Yada yada yada. We were recovering from life in fucking general, to be quite honest. But yeah, congratulations on your date, then.
Yes. Colin says you were the baby sister, Brie. Makes sense. You grew up a little faster. When I tell you, and my sisters are 6 and 8 years older than me, that I grew up in the household with. I have 3 other sisters and a brother, but I didn't grow up in the household with them. But yeah, my sisters that I grew up with, 6 and 8 years older than me. So I definitely was hearing music that I shouldn't have been hearing at a very young age. But when I say like literally had all of Little Kim's hardcore album memorized, like line for line in 7th and 8th grade, like it, I would have never let my kids, but you know, my kids didn't have older siblings. Like they, you know, my daughter is the oldest sibling, so yeah. But then at the same time, I took her to a Meg Thee Stallion and Glow concert for her and 2 of her friends for their, but it was their graduation present. Like they were all 18. Like, you know, they were all technically grown.
My dad he's been taking me to concerts since like Spice Girls was like the first concert that I went to, and it was kind of gave me permission.
Really? You saw the Spice Girls in concert?
I know.
Oh my gosh. That is iconic.
Yes. So I was just saying this, and the person I was talking to was like, what? I'm like, no, dude, it was like a big fucking deal. Like my dad's like literally my hero. Okay, so when back then Ticketmaster used to do a lottery, so you would line up around the block and then they'd pull a number and then they would cut the line from where it started, ditch all the people there, and then start the number from whatever. And my dad, he was so amazing. He like waited outside, and then they pulled the number, and all the people that had been camped, they're trying to stop people from like squatting and then selling the tickets and scalping and all this stuff, right? So they started the number, and I still remember it was like 13:05, and my dad was like 10 people down from the start of the flipping line, right? So he had these tickets, and it was so crazy back then. He was like, you can't, like, brought me down to like a quiet room. He's like, you can't tell your cousins, no one can know about this, because it was, people were so hysterical about it. He was like, you can't talk about it. I'm just going to pick you, like, I'm just going to pick you up. You're going to have an outfit. We're getting ready. And then we're going. And then like, I couldn't talk about it all grade 4. I was holding this big fucking secret that I was like freaking, all my friends were cutting out magazines. We're getting the bubble gum. We got the fort all done up. I couldn't say nothing. It was like years later, we're like having like Thanksgiving dinner. And I was like, oh yeah. And I seen the Spice Girls. And like, literally my cousins, even still then, were like, when did you see this? I was like,
was the band. Right? My first concert was the band Tool back in 98. I've never seen them. My first concert was when I was 12. I was 11 or 12. I can't remember exactly. But I went to see Bone Thugs and Harmony was my first concert.
Wow.
And that was at the height of like Crossroads and whatnot. Yeah. But I had a similar situation. Well, not that she had to keep it a secret the entire time, but like beforehand. So have you heard of the K-pop band BTS?
No, but I can appreciate it because K-pop's like a big thing, but it's not something I know much about. But okay,
a few years ago, this pre-COVID, my daughter was obsessed with BTS. They're from South Korea, and in South Korea, like once you reach a certain age, you're supposed to go serve in the military. Okay. So the band kind of broke up to go do their duty in the military, even though they had been exempt from it because they bring in so much money that whoever rules South Korea was like, you don't have to if you don't want to. But they were like, no, it's our duty. So we're going to do it. But they actually just got back together. And my daughter called me and was like, they just got back together. I was like, yeah, I seen it on social. And she was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I seen they're working on new music and the album comes out in the early spring. And she's like, yeah, and they're going on tour. So we got to start saving our money. I was like, yeah, you do. Because I've already taken her to now 2 BTS concerts.
Okay.
But the first one that I took her to, her and 3 of her friends were like trying to get tickets, right? So we're all online. We're on this queue, in the queue or whatever. And my coworker, and it's like, you know, kicking us out the queue and it's not working. You know, we can't get in to get tickets. And my coworker is like, can you still call and get tickets? And I was like, I have no idea. Let me try. And I called and I got through. and I was able to get 2 tickets for,
gotta keep it old school, man.
Me and her to go to BTS. And so when she was at her friend's house and I went there to pick her up, and she's like, we were trying all afternoon and we couldn't get in the queue. And they're like crying,
like, baby, I got you.
And she's like, did you get tickets? But I only got tickets for me and her, and she was at her friend's house. I was like, no, I wasn't able to get them. And she's like, so we leave. And we're like down the street, and I'm like looking around the car, like making sure nobody can hear. And I'm like, Layla got us tickets, but I could only get 2, so I didn't want to tell you in front of Alana. And she was like, oh, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Let me tell you, my sister, I don't know if this is great or not, but my sister was 18, 19 years old. Because like I said, she was probably 18. I was 12. She was probably 18. She was dropping me and my god sister off at the concert, but she didn't even have a ticket. So we had 2 tickets for, up in the bleachers somewhere.
Yep.
She had on this shirt that she had on some shorts and a shirt, and the shirt like tied around her boobs like a bow. You know what I mean? Okay. Stomach out, this bow. So this security guard is like, hey, I'll exchange you your 2 tickets for these 3 front row tickets and your phone number. Like, I'll give you these 3 front row tickets. You give me your 2 tickets and your phone number.
Yep.
And so my sister was like, let's go.
Yes.
So we got to sit in the first row. I touched Crazy Bones' chest when he came out into the audience. Like, I see them going on tour now, and I was like, I want to go so bad, but I know nothing will compete with that first experience, so I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
I don't know though, because so right after Spice Girls, like did the Spice Girls thing, we did the pop thing, like whatever. The next concert my dad took me to was Korn, and I think Dan can probably appreciate this because if he's listening to Tool, which I'm a massive fan of Tool, by the way, Korn is like kind of the gateway drug to Tool, into Tool, like to all of the good shit, right? Yeah. And so it was wild because it was like, out went the Spice Girls, in comes this like whole new world of music, and since then I think we've gone, I mean, gosh, we've seen Tool, I've now seen Korn twice. My point of the story is that I've seen Korn a few times, and I actually think, like, if ever given the opportunity to see a band twice, I don't know, Bone Thugs and Harmony would definitely be on that roster of like I would probably.
Yeah, I do see they're going on tour right now with 3 6 Mafia, and it's supposed to be all the members of Bone. And see, that's the thing, is usually a member is missing when they like are doing shows, and I'm like, no, I got to see them all because I've seen them all.
Yes, like, yes.
So, and then I've done like tons of concerts, like radio concerts that have like multiple people performing and stuff. So awesome. So, and then I started, when my sons don't really care for concerts and stuff like that. They listen to like underground rappers and stuff. But my daughter's first concert was One Direction. And so,
that's a big deal.
Yeah. And so, and it was right before people started leaving. So like we got to see all the members.
Yeah.
And so, and then BTS twice. She's seen Beyonce. We've seen Panic at the Disco.
That'd be cool.
Then COVID hit,
Yeah, just locked everything up. You know what? One of my favorite shows was still this day, and I highly suggest to anybody that ever has an opportunity, is No Doubt. Not Gwen Stefani, but No Doubt. What a fucking performance that was, man. Like, it still stands out to me as like one of the best moments of my life. Like, they got out there and just fucking killed it, and they had this like these huge bongo drums. They were like, I don't even know, super tall. They're on risers, and they're just fucking wailing on these bongo drums. It was just like, oh my god, like I don't even think anybody moved for that entire like session. It was an incredible show. So shout out to No Doubt, because they definitely know what they're doing when it comes to live performances. For sure.
So my favorite concert of all of my concerts that I've been to has to be Alicia Keys, and that's John Legend opened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Live music is my getaway from reality for that brief moment. I love a concert. I love a concert, a comedy show, a musical, but like definitely musicals and concerts. I love music. Is just so healing in so many ways.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys concert.
Wow.
It was all all the
like
music
the
was
whitest
live.
thing I've ever said.
All
Wow.
instruments.
Yes.
All live instruments, no stereos playing music or any of that. All live instruments. And it was just amazing. Like, it was in the Chicago theater, and acoustically, it was just an awesome show. And but the last concert I actually went to was last year, or in April of last year. I went to see Fall Out Boy. And that was a trip down memory lane type of like, oh gosh, it was great. Yeah. It was a great concert. I don't actually have anybody that I like really am close to that listens to Fall Out Boy or that type of music. So I went to the concert by myself because I'm I'll go by myself before I don't go type of person.
Okay, and that's pretty amazing.
It took me a minute to get there, but now I, had blood clots and almost died. So now I'm like, fuck it, I'm going. So I went by myself, and it was an amazing concert. Like, oh, it was so great. Took me back to high school. Like, it was great.
The best is always when you go to a show and then the opener is like just as good, if not. Like, I went to a Shinedown concert. I was on this like tip where like we had seen Korn. It was like Mudvayne, Frick, Powerman 5000, all these people, and then there was Papa Roach open for them, and so then Papa Roach came back, and we're like, okay, so I've seen them with my dad, so let's take my kids now with my dad to Papa Roach, and it was amazing because they actually did this really intimate moment where they had like honored one of their songs, and me and my dad were like crying because we got to see them when they like put like when they put out Last Resort. I mean, that song was like a fucking banger, right? So when they came out with Korn, it was like their hit, but when they came back and did like a acoustic candlelit type thing with it, and so to have that moment then with my kids and my dad was like amazing. It's like actually choked me up. But what was super cool was, so we went to see Shinedown, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then this band called In This Moment. If you haven't, I mean, you don't even really have to be into metal to appreciate it. It's this female singer. She came out and did like a full witch seance in full nunnery. I don't know how illegal that is. It feels super illegal, and it looks super illegal. I don't even remember watching Shinedown after that. I was just like in awe, like immediate girl crush. I was like, holy shit, she just killed it. But it was like one of those moments where we went expecting one thing and then just got sideswiped into like a whole new world of music. So yeah, shout out to music in general, man. It's therapy, life, love, everything. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I definitely want to again thank you so much for joining me tonight. We look forward to next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And hopefully we have our co-star back. Get that last midget to slide on out. We can do some things, maybe. I don't know. I was really expecting production to boo me or something at that one, but nothing.
When you said that Diddy oil, I almost died. I'm like, please don't bring me in at this moment. I don't know what to say after that. Like,
that is what Joe told him was wrong with him yesterday. So we just gonna continue that, It was crazy because before we got on, Milk was talking to Joe, and he's just telling him like, don't tell him too much. Like, you don't want people all in our business, but we just want to let people know we okay, but we can use the prayers, but like maybe not. But like, he's like, tell him, you could tell, or no, he's like, Bree, you tell him because Milk or Joe's gonna come up with any old thing. And I was like, I think that's fun. Like, so Milk keeps saying stuff. He's like, why am I giving him ideas of what to say? But none of the stuff that he said was what Joe came up with. And when Joe's like Diddy oil, I was like, oh Lord. That's what we rocking with.
Yeah.
Hopefully they slide up out of Milk just like Diddy slid up out them charges. So that's all we got tonight on the last word.
With that, it's a wrap.
Once again, Kalisha, thank you for joining me. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow for Big Brother. I don't know if I'll be alone. I don't know if I will be with the Milk. I don't know if I'll be with somebody else.